All right. Hello and good afternoon. So I welcome you all in our today's session. So as you can see, as a part of our course, that English oral and written communication. So from that course, today we will be focusing on types of listening. As you know, listening actually it is also integrated to the other skills of the uh, language, and it is one of the key ingredients of language that actually we must focus on. But unfortunately, when it comes to language skills, this listening actually it is mostly, you can say, it's one of the most ignored skills, you can say. So that's why we are going to talk about listening, and also I'm going to show you some examples. And this is very interesting that usually we think that actually listening is just it just listening. Then there can be some types. It doesn't come to our mind. But today, actually, I'm going to give you some insight into this, because when you come to know about the types of listening, it will also help you to understand that different rubrics of listening and also different strategies and techniques. So that's why I have put these things on the screen, the types of listening. Okay, so let's move on to the first slide. Now, as you can see from the screen, these are very two general types of listening. One is discriminative listening, and the one is comprehensive listening. These are the two categories, and they're the main types. We also have different other types of listening, but discriminative listening and comprehensive listening, they are the two main types. Now, what is discriminative listening? Let's talk about it first. Now, as you can see on the screen, discriminative listening is first developed at a very age, at a very early age, perhaps even before birth in the womb. This is the most basic form of listening and does not involve the understanding of the meaning of words or phrases, but merely the different sounds that are produced. So you can see discriminative listening, that's a very basic form of listening. All of us actually, whether we want it or not, you see, when we are in our mother's womb, from there actually this very skill, I mean this very type of listening actually it develops, that we call discriminative listening. As you know, scientifically it is proven that infants or the kids or the babies actually, when they're in the mother's wombs, at that time actually, after 2 or 3 months, so they started some kind of, you can say, the listening skill, and they can hear. So they can hear their parents, what are they talking about, or also the people who are surrounding them. So they can listen to those, listen to their voices. Though actually they cannot uh, get the meaning, but still they can recognize the sounds. Okay, so this is very interesting thing, and scientifically it is proven that uh, babies actually they can hear when they're in the mother's womb, অর্থাৎ মায়ের গর্ভে যখন থাকে 3-4 মাস বয়স হয়ে গেলেই তখন তারা এই শ্রবণ শক্তিটা তাদের ডেভেলপ করা শুরু করে এবং সেই সময় থেকে তারা শুনতে পায়. So this discriminative listening actually it starts from that time. Okay, and though actually you cannot understand the meaning, but it still is there. You can recognize, or you can discriminate the sounds. Okay, so that's why it says that doesn't involve the understanding of the meaning of words or phrases, but merely the different sounds that are produced. So different sounds, you can recognize it, or the babies actually they can recognize it. In early childhood, for example, a distinction is made between the sounds of the voices of the parents. The voice of the father sounds different to that of the mother. So you can see that the kids, they can recognize the sounds. They can differentiate the sounds made by the father and sounds made by the mother. So they can understand the difference between. So as a result, you can see when a child actually, when it is born, you can see that it can recognize the father and also it can recognize the mother more than the other people, because when actually it was in the womb, so it actually it listened to the voices of both the parents. And most of the time, since parents actually they are the closest persons to a baby at that time, so that's actually they listen most of their listening time actually it is invested to listening to their parents. So that's why they can recognize father's voice and mother's voice. Understood what I have said, dear students? After this, is that clear, dear students? Abdul Malik, is it okay?
Okay, Sam.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great, great. So if you have any question, you can ask me anytime, okay, if you want. All right. Now, more about discriminative listening. Now, discriminative listening develops through childhood and into adulthood. As we grow older and develop and gain more life experience, our ability to distinguish between different sounds is improved. Not only can we recognize different voices, but we also develop the ability to recognize subtle differences in the way that sounds are made. This is fundamental to ultimately understanding what these sounds mean. Differences include many subtleties, recognizing foreign languages, distinguishing between regional accents, and clues to the emotions and feelings of the speaker. So you see, when actually we grow, so since actually we grow older, so what happens that earlier at an earlier stage, you can see the little kids when they're 3 months old or 4 months old after they're born. So I mean, when they're born, you can see uh, at the very early stage of their life, they cannot make meaning out of the the sentences or the words actually they hear from the other interlocutors or the speakers, or mostly parents and the close relatives. But still, they can recognize the differences of the sounds. But when they grow up, they start, understanding the meaning. They start comprehending the meaning. So same thing happened with us actually when we were a child, when we were infant, right? So we grew up and then we started understanding more and more and more, just like this. So it says that we can understand the subtleties, different kinds of subtleties. We can recognize the differences in the way the sounds are made. For example, foreign languages. So our language, our mother tongue is Bangla. So when we grow up, if we when actually we heard for the first time English or any other languages like Hindi or Urdu or maybe French, so we could understand that this is not Bangla. We can feel that. So when we grow up, we can understand that this is not my mother tongue, this is something else. Then distinguishing between regional accents. For example, I'm from the southern part of Bangladesh. You are from the northern part of Bangladesh, or maybe eastern part of Bangladesh. So you can see that from your part of the country, you can recognize the dialect quite easily. For example, if you're from Kumilla, or if you're from uh, Dhaka, or from Lokhipur or Feni, or from Barisal, or from Khulna, so you can see that you can recognize the dialects, that this actually is from Khulna or Jessore or Satkhira. Because of his dialect, you can understand it. Or he is from Noakhali or Lokhipur or Feni, or from Chittagong. Because of his dialect, you can understand it. So when you grow up, these discriminative, because of this discriminative listening, actually, it improves and you start understanding the differences among different foreign languages and also different regional accents, and also clues to the emotions and feelings of the speaker. You also start, the kids or the babies, they start understanding the emotions of or the feelings of the speakers. For example, if his or her mom or dad is sad or anxious or happy or ecstatic, so they can, or in a melancholic mood. So you can see the kids when they see that their moms are in a very sad mood or in a melancholic mood, they can understand. And even sometimes they ask them, "What happened to you? Why are you so sad?" Okay, so they can understand this. So listening, through listening, they can feel through the voice, through the intonation or the pitch, they can understand that his mom is sad or happy. So they can feel it. Now, here you can see I have put a video. I have included a video here in this slide. So I'd like you to listen to it. But before that, I have to do one thing. Just give me a second. Just a sec. Let me share it again. Okay. All right. Now here in this video, you can see it's a different language. So through your discriminative listening, you can discriminate that this is not our mother tongue. You can understand it. Though actually you can see it will be written there, what is the language is there, it is written there, but still, just to give you a taste of the discriminative listening, so I've included this video here. So I'm going to play it for you. Just let me know if you can listen.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Cilia et bienvenue à la première.
So is that audible, dear students? Is that audible? Can you hear it? Can you see that?
Yes, sir. I see that.
Okay, that's great. Okay, I'll play it again from the beginning.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Cilia et bienvenue à la première émission de Easy French, ici à Paris. Qu'est-ce qui vous aime bien de Paris?
Ah, tout, j'adore Paris. Qu'est-ce que je préfère dans Paris?
Oui.
Tout, la ville en soi est très bien, c'est culturel, il y a énormément de choses à faire, beaucoup de restaurants, de bars, pour les jeunes ça bouge énormément.
C'est une ville dynamique, il y a beaucoup de choses, c'est une capitale quoi on va dire.
Vous venez d'où?
De Nice.
De Strasbourg.
Vous habitez ici?
Non, j'habite à New York.
Qu'est-ce que vous pensez de Paris?
Paris, c'est une magnifique capitale. Oui. Et il y a plein de choses à voir, culturellement, c'est très riche.
La culture, les musées, les concerts, la ville, qu'elle est vivante, il y a plein de monde.
Oui, Paris, c'est une ville qui t'a donné beaucoup d'opportunités pour tout, pour les études, pour la formation culturelle, pour le travail.
Qu'est-ce que vous pouvez dire de la France? Alors, le plus caractéristique.
Ah, c'est un très beau pays.
Qu'est-ce que vous pensez de Paris?
C'est une belle ville.
Okay, so I took it from YouTube and Easy French. Actually, it's a YouTube channel from where actually you can learn French language if you want. So I'm grateful to this YouTube channel because I took this from there. So, okay, all right. Now, dear students, now you tell me, though actually it's written there that it's French, but it's still, even if it is not written there, you could have understood that this is not Bangla, this is not English, this is not something else, not English, not Bangla, right? You could have understood it quite easily, right?
Yes, sir. Right, sir.
Yes, why is it that? Because of the discriminative listening. Because we know how to discriminate, how to make differences among different kinds of sounds, or how to understand you can say the differences of sounds. So when I listen to this language, this French language, then I can understand it that it doesn't sound like English. It doesn't sound like Bangla. So this is called discriminative listening. Though actually we didn't understand the meaning, since actually we're not French speaker or we're not practicing French, but still, we could listen, but we didn't understand the meaning. So same situation happened actually when we were in our mom's wombs. Actually, we listened to the language, obviously that is Bangla. So our parents, our relatives who were very close to us at that time, when actually we were in our mom's wombs, at that time we listened to the language, but actually but we didn't understand it. So this is an example of discriminative listening. Okay, now it's more about discriminative listening. So you see, being able to distinguish the subtleties, that means the very, you can see the very subtle differences. You can say the subtleties of sound made by somebody who is happy or sad, angry or distressed, for example, ultimately adds value to what is actually being said, and of course, does aid comprehension. So you see, it helps us, discriminative listening of this particular skill, it helps us to understand that whether a person is happy or sad, angry or stressed. For example, sometimes if I play you a Chinese song, so you say I don't speak Chinese, I think that maybe I can assume that you also don't speak Chinese language. But if I play you a Chinese song, so I'm sure about that even if you don't understand a single word, if you don't understand any of it, but still you can tell me that whether the song is, is it about happiness or sadness, or that means whether the mood or the tone of the song, whether it is sad or happy or melancholic, you'll be able to detect that. You'll be able to identify that because of this thing that is discriminative listening, right? Am I right? Even if you don't understand the language, we can say that whether the singer, whether she is happy, he or she is happy or sad, we can feel that, right?
Yes, sir. Exactly, sir.
Why does it happen? It happens because we can discriminate. We can feel the tone. We can feel the singer. Okay. Now, here comes the second time. So discriminative listening actually, it formulates the platform of listening. And it starts from the wombs of our moms. আমাদের মায়ের গর্ভ থেকে শুরু হয় ডিসক্রিমিনেটিভ লিসনিং। তো সেটা আমাদেরকে প্ল্যাটফর্ম তৈরি করে দেয় লিসনিং। এর পরের স্টেজে আমরা যখন আস্তে আস্তে বড় হতে থাকি, আমাদের সময় গড়িয়ে যায়, আমরা বড় হই, অ্যাডাল্ট হই, এবং আমরা তখন পুরো লিসনিং স্কিলটা ডেভেলপ করে আমরা শুনতে পারি, শুনে সেটা বুঝতেও পারি। শুধু যে ডিসক্রিমিনেট করতে পারি, ডিফারেন্সিয়েট করতে পারি among different kinds of sounds, it's not only that, we can also get the meaning. So there comes comprehensive listening. Now, comprehensive listening involves understanding the message or the messages that are being communicated. So it's about comprehension. It's about to comprehend the meaning, to understand the meaning of the message or messages. Like discriminative listening, comprehensive listening is fundamental to all listening subtypes. So there are different other types of listening, but just like discriminative listening, this is also one of the fundamental types of listening, that is comprehensive listening. In order to be able to use, in order to be able to use comprehensive listening and therefore gain understanding, the listener first needs appropriate vocabulary and language skills. So if you really want to comprehend, you must have the appropriate vocabulary. For example, sometimes when we listen to a lecture or any kind of conversation in English, we can discriminate, or maybe we can get the meaning, most of it, out of that conversation. But sometimes if there is a difficult word, and if I don't know the meaning, it really creates an obstacle, obstacle in the way of my comprehension. So I fail to understand the complete meaning of that conversation because maybe I don't know the meaning of one or two words. So appropriate vocabulary, knowing the words, is very important. Okay. And also you have to have the language skills. The language skills actually, it means that you must know, you must practice listening, you must practice speaking. That is all other listening, language skills. You must have it. You should practice it. You should cultivate all the language skills. Otherwise, actually, you'll find it difficult. That means in isolation of other language skills, you cannot improve your listening skills. So you must have some kind of reading, you must have some kind of writing, speaking, and then obviously you must have listening, because if you just take all these skills together, then listening comes first. So first we listen, then we speak, then we read, and lastly, then we start writing. So writing is the most advanced language skill, you can say. All right. Now, using overly complicated language or technical jargon, therefore, can be a barrier to comprehensive listening. Technical jargon or complicated language. So if I intentionally, if I try to use very difficult word for you, then you may find it difficult to understand. You may find it very challenging. So that's why what actually I'm trying to do, that I'm trying to keep it simple by using very simple vocabulary so that it will be very much understandable, easily understandable for you. And also technical jargon. So you see, technical jargon means, for example, we're studying English, and also specifically now we are studying linguistics, and also we're studying literature. So if I use many linguistic terms and terminologies, maybe for some of you, you will find it difficult to understand, because if you're not familiar with the technical jargon, you will not be able to understand it. I can give you an example. Look, you see doctors, when you see a doctor, and you see doctors actually, they use different kinds of technical terms, medical terms. And you see, since actually we are not doctors, we didn't study anything related to medical sciences, so what happens that we will find it very difficult to understand those medical terms and terminologies. Okay, so these are called technical jargons. So if we use that much technical jargons, many technical jargons in our conversation, so the general people, they'll find it difficult to understand. So sometimes technical jargons, it creates some kind of obstacle, or it hampers our understanding or comprehension. So comprehensive listening is further complicated by the fact that two different people listening to the same thing may understand the message in two different ways. The problem can be multiplied in a group setting, like a classroom or business meeting, where numerous different meanings can be derived from what has been said. Now, you see, this is very common. Look, sometimes maybe your dad, he said something to all of your siblings, and maybe you have 4 or 5 siblings, that is brothers and sisters. So you can see that one of your brothers, he understood it in a different way. You have understood your father's speech or his instruction in a different way. It happens, right? Even in the classroom, maybe you are 40 or 30 people or 30 students or maybe 40 students in the same class. So you can see that 50 students, they have understood in a different way. 5 students, they have understood the lecture in a different way. 10 students, they have understood in a different way. So it happens in the classroom, right? So since we are different individuals, so we may understand a single thing in a different ways. So sometimes it creates problems, occasionally, not always, that it creates problems, that people understand the same message, people understand in different ways, because we are different individuals, that's all. Have you got it, what I've said, dear students? Do you understand me? That the same speech might be comprehended or understood by different people in a different ways, right? Okay?
Okay, sir, right.
Okay, so it creates a kind of obstacle. একটা স্পিচ একটা ক্লাসে স্যার দিলেন, একটা লেকচার দিলেন, সেই একই লেকচার দেখা যায় বিভিন্ন জন বিভিন্নভাবে দিচ্ছে। এর কারণ হচ্ছে আমরা যেহেতু আমাদের এডুকেশন ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড ডিফারেন্ট, ফ্যামিলি ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড ডিফারেন্ট, আমাদের সোশ্যাল ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড বা ডিফারেন্ট সোসাইটি থেকে আমরা আসছি, এবং সেই সাথে আমরা যেহেতু ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল হিসেবেও তো আমরা আলাদা, আমরা এক একজন এক এক, সুতরাং আমাদের আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিংটা ডিফারেন্ট হতেই পারে। একই লেকচার শুনে এক একজন এক একভাবে বুঝতে পারছে। So which is quite natural. Especially it happens when actually you listen to the religious sermons. আমরা যখন ধর্মীয় বক্তব্য বা লেকচারগুলো শুনি, এটা বেশি হয়। এই জন্যই দেখা যায় যে আমরা রিলিজিয়াস সার্মনস গুলো এক একজন এক একভাবে বুঝতেছি, রাইট? এবং আমাদের মধ্যে অনেক মিসআন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিং তৈরি হয়। সো কম্প্রিহেনসিভ লিসেনিং এর ক্ষেত্রে একটা অন্যতম চ্যালেঞ্জ হচ্ছে মানুষ একই লেকচার, একই স্পিচ, একই ইনস্ট্রাকশন বিভিন্ন মানুষ বিভিন্নভাবে বুঝতে পারে, এবং তখনই দেখা যায় একটা ভুল বোঝাবুঝির সৃষ্টি হয়ে থাকতে পারে। And it happens in our day-to-day life, actually it happens. And it's very common to our quotidian life or everyday life. It's very common. So nothing to be worried. All right. So more about comprehensive listening. So comprehensive listening is complemented by sub-messages from non-verbal communication, such as the tone of voice, gestures, and other body language. So you see, comprehensive listening is complemented by sub-messages from non-verbal communication. So you can see the non-verbal communication, that is my voice is non-verbal communication, my gestures, the way I move my hand, the way you can also look at my facial expressions. It is different from yours. You're a different person, so you'll have a different facial expression. I'm a different person, so I will have a different facial expression. This is quite normal. And also the way I move my hand, maybe you don't move your hand in that way. So this is called gestures. The way I walk, maybe you don't walk in that way, because I'm a different person. So because of my physical structure, my movement will be different. So, and posture is the way I sit, the way I put my hands on my chest or on my abdomen. So this is called gestures. So my fixed, you can say my fixed body movement, or you can say the body, yeah, the way actually I put my different body parts in different ways. The way I stand, you see, some people, they like to stand leaning against the wall. দেয়ালের পিছনে এরকম হেলান দিয়ে দাঁড়িয়ে থাকে। এক একজনের দাঁড়ানোর ভঙ্গি এক, এক একজনের বসার ভঙ্গি এক, আবার এক একজনের চলার ভঙ্গি এক, যেটার মধ্যে মুভমেন্ট আছে আমাদেরকে জেস্টার্স বলছে, যেটাতে মুভমেন্ট নেই ওটাকে বলছে পশ্চার্স। সো জেস্টার পশ্চারও কিন্তু মানুষকে হেল্প করে যে আমি ও কি বলছে এটা বুঝতে। সো from my facial expression you can say that whether I'm happy or sad. So it helps you to understand it. So for listening, your facial expressions, your gestures and postures are very important. It complements the understanding. Is that clear? Am I clear to you, or do you need more explanation? Okay.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, that's great. Great.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Then in that case, we can move on. Now, these nonverbal signals can greatly aid communication and comprehension, but can confuse and potentially lead to misunderstanding. In many listening situations, it is vital to seek clarification and use skills such as reflection aid comprehension. So you see, nonverbal signals actually can greatly aid communication. That means these nonverbal communication like voice, gestures, and different other body languages like postures, actually, it helps the understanding. These things actually, it facilitates our understanding. Okay. And at the same time, it can also confuse you. For example, I said something and my voice was actually at that time, it was, you can say it was shivering, it was a very shaky voice. So you may think that maybe he wasn't sure about it. What he said, the instruction that he gave, actually maybe he wasn't sure about it. So you didn't take my instruction that much seriously. And therefore, you didn't follow it. But later on, when I asked you, or maybe the authority, when he asked you, then he said that I didn't do it because I didn't take the manager's instruction very seriously. I thought that he wasn't serious because his voice actually, it didn't sound very confident. But you see, through my voice, you could find that as a manager or as an instructor, actually, when I gave you the instruction, I wasn't confident. That's actually, you were very skeptical about it and you didn't follow it. But later on, when I asked you and I went for the feedback, then you told me that you didn't take me seriously because of my voice, because of my tone. So you see, sometimes our voice or my gesture, it may confuse you. Okay, it might be very confusing. And that's actually, it may mislead the communication. So we need to be very careful about it. So that's it. Actually, we should take help from these things. So you need to be very careful actually when you listen to people. Okay, so take a look at their gestures, postures, and also try to notice their voice. Okay. Now let's watch another video. It's about comprehension. So let's see.
Everybody wants the good life, but not everybody gets the good life, right? Imagine for a second, if right now, today, how much more successful would you be if you just started a company 50-50 with Bill Gates as your business partner, and he was using every trick of the trade that he used to build Microsoft into one of the biggest companies in the world? Imagine how much money you'd have in your bank account today, how much more money, I should say, if Warren Buffett was teaching you how to invest in the stock market, showing you what he used to build Berkshire Hathaway into a $140 billion company. Imagine how much happier you'd be today if the Dalai Lama was your personal guide, showing you how to find fulfillment in life, in the little things that most people overlook. Imagine how healthy you'd be today if, when you woke up, you went down to your gym, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was waiting there. He was your personal trainer, right? Showing you how he built his body into the most fit body maybe ever, right? Imagine the change you would be making in the world, the injustice you'd be solving today if Mother Teresa and you were running a charity together, and she was showing you what she learned on the streets of Calcutta, helping poor, the sick, and the dying. Mentors have the power to do this in your life. I think everybody here recognizes the importance of a role model. But in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how mentors are more powerful than you can possibly imagine in their ability to transform your life. It's interesting that I'm here in Luxembourg because my grandmother was born not too far from here in.
Okay. So I took that video from the official YouTube channel of TED Talk, and I'm grateful for that. So I used it for this education purpose. All right, so can anyone tell me, so what does it say? You can say, what does it mean? What is it about? Can you tell me, anyone? Dear students? Did you hear the word mentor? Abdul Malik and me too. Did you hear the word mentor?
mentor.
Yeah, mentor. What does it mean, mentor? Who can say? Mentor means? Anyone who can say what does it mean, mentor?
Sir, whatটা কোথায়?
No, it's not here. From the video. I'm asking you that you listen to that, to the audio, and also you watch the video. So in the video, actually, there was a word mentor. So he was saying that the importance of mentor is very important in one's life. So mentors helps us to take decisions. They gives us advice. Mentors actually they show us the path. They helps us. They facilitate us with their advice and also instructions. All these things. So what does it mean, mentor? For example, I'm a mentor. So now what does it mean? Mentor. I am a mentor. A mentor gives you advice. A mentor helps you. A mentor gives you advice. I am a mentor. I'm giving you advice. How to develop your life, what to do and what not to do. So I'm helping you with information, with advice, with suggestion. Then what does it mean, mentor? What comes to your mind? What does it mean? The word mentor, what does it mean? I am a mentor. I'm giving you, you're my students. I'm giving you advice. Then mentor means anyone, just guess. You don't have to be right. Just guess. What does it mean, mentor? From this context. M-E-N-T-O-R. I'm giving you advice. So I'm a mentor. So I'm in Bengali. What you say? So one who gives paramorsho, what will you call him? Okay, so a mentor is, he's like a teacher. He's like a philosopher. He's like a guide. He guides you. Understand? So in that video, actually, he was saying that the importance of the mentors, that you need a mentor. So you see, we are trying to comprehend. So watching that video, we were trying to comprehend. We were trying to understand that what that person, what the speaker actually, he was trying to, his audience to make understand. So he was trying to make them understand about the importance of mentors in everybody's life. So I also need a mentor. I have my mentors. I take advice from them. You have your mentors. You take advice from them. For example, you have your favorite teacher. You may have maybe your elder brother. He's your mentor. Your father is your mentor. Okay? Understood what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, that's great. All right, so today we have learned that basically or fundamentally there are two types of listening. One is discriminative listening, another one is
comprehensive listening.
I hope you have understood. And in our next lecture, we will focus on the other types. There are other subtypes of listening, which will also help us to understand the rubrics or understand the strategies of listening, so which is very important for understanding the listening skill. And inshallah, I'm sure that you're going to enjoy it just like today. So now, if you have any questions, so I'd like to open the floor for a question and answer session. So do you have any question about today's lecture? We don't have enough time. We have to conclude it soon. So do you have any question?
স্যার অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমার নেটওয়ার্কের জন্য স্যার কথা বাধা আসতেছিল এজন্য আমি ডিসকানেক্ট মানে বের হয়ে গেছিলাম স্যার
Okay, no problem.
পরে আবার জয়েন করার চেষ্টা করতেছিলাম কিন্তু হচ্ছিল না স্যার
Listen, dear student, if you have problem with the network, don't mention it. You don't need to talk about it. I'm just asking that if you have any question during the class, you can ask me the question, and if you don't have, then in that case, I'd like to conclude to this session. Okay? If you don't have any questions, so thank you very much for your participation, and I'm not going to continue it, so you don't have to join again. So next class, we will discuss more about listening. Okay? Is that okay, dear students?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So thank you very much. Thanks for your cooperation, and enjoy yourself, and have a good day.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Welcome.
Have a good day.
Okay, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Allah Hafiz, sir.
Take care.